Hey guys, AJ here, back with another one, Lawyers. So today we're going to look at an article called "Why Are Young Women Becoming More Violent?" And guys, we see on social media all the time, girls fighting, doing all the same dirt as men, punching, kicking, robbing, deleting each other, and we see it in the news even more. You know, women deleting their children, their husbands, or whatever. So is this like a social media thing, or is it true? Well, I have an article here that actually shows that women are becoming more violent. So, guys, we're gonna jump into this, but before we do, please remember to like, subscribe, and drop a comment because it really helps keep this channel going, and I really appreciate your support. So, this is from December 28th, 2022. These three stories about domestic assaults appeared in a single day on December 27th, 2022. So you can see that the first of them is New Jersey woman allegedly shoots and deletes her husband on Christmas. The second one is Florida mother stabs 3-year-old daughter and she is deleted. So, and the third one is woman arrested in South Carolina airport after attacking husband over indecent photos. So criminologists have known for more than 30 years that young women are rapidly becoming more violent. So to illustrate the phenomenon, here is a story from 2006 at which point the trend was already more than a decade old. So July 2006. Adolescent U.S. girls are being arrested in record numbers. National arrest statistics for simple and aggravated assaults by girls have been on the rise for more than a decade. So the FBI's Uniform Crime Reports note that the female percentage of total juvenile arrests jumped from 21% to 32% between 1990 and 2003. And the U.S. female juvenile assault rate rose from 200 from every 100,000 girls to 750 between 1980 and 2003. So some analysts trace the surge in the number of girls arrested to increased pressures from the breakdowns of the family, church, community, and school that have increased their propensity for violence. Here, watch this, guys. Other analysts reason that girls are more likely to act out or lash out due to changing gender role expectations. Greater female freedom and assertiveness has masculinized female behavior and are expected in an imitation of male machismo competitiveness. So once we all say this, guys, modern women want to be men. They're trained to act like men and be like men, and this is making them more violent, right? And violence by girls is also persuasive in much of today's entertainment. Even in a Harry Potter film, a girl, Hermione Granger, hits a boy only to say afterwards, "Boy, that felt good." And that's another thing that we say on this channel, guys. Misandry is just normalized now in the media, and no one cares. The trend is all the more remarkable because until 2020, the crime rate for every other demographic group had been declining for more than 20 years. Here's the big one, guys. Young women were the only demographic group that showed an increase in violent crime. So we've heard all this, men are toxic, blah, blah, blah. But and yes, men might do the most of the violence, but the women are the only one where their violence is increasing in their group as of 2020, right? So it goes to men commit most of the crimes, right? So the fact that men commit most of the crimes, it says all these numbers add up to what the criminologists call the gender gap. But read enough academic journals and government crime reports, and some curious facts emerge. While crime rate in the Western world has steadily declined over the past 3 decades, the number of young women being convicted for violent crimes in some Western countries has increased significantly. Law enforcement records indicate that the opposite is true for the men. In other words, the gender gap is closing. In the UK, in some UK cities, the number of female arrests increased by 50% from 2015 to 2016. That's more than a blip. A report by the Institute for Criminal Policy and Research at Birkbeck came up with a sobering data point. The global female prison population has surged by more than half since the turn of the century, while the male prison population increased by just a fifth. Women and girls may account for only 7% of incarcerated people today, but their numbers are growing at a much faster rate than any time in recorded history. Guys, modern women are more violent than any other women that have ever been. And guys, here's another big one, because we always talk about how one of the how women don't get punished the same as men for violent crimes or any crime, right? Criminologists advance several different theories for the increase in violent crime by young females, including the substantial disparity in criminal justice outcomes for women compared to men. Young female perpetrators understand they are much less likely to be prosecuted than similarly situated males. And if prosecuted, are likely to receive a substantially lower sentence than similarly situated males. In other words, young women are becoming more violent, at least in part because they believe that they can get away with it. Guys, what have we been saying this whole time? Women do what they do, especially modern women, because they know that they can get away with it. They do false accusations. They do false essay claims. They smack men. They do violence against men. They do violence against their own children because they get away with it. And here's some of the studies. And guys, over here, we know this already. But there's still these blue-pilled morons, guys, who just don't listen to reason. They don't think that this is true, and they don't believe their own eyes. Guys, don't fall for it, okay? And I mean this. I know that I try and be funny on this channel, but guys, if you're ever with any woman and she gets violent, gets in your face, screams, yells, hits you, slaps you, get away from her as quickly as possible and write her out of your life. Defend yourself if you have to, right? Because you should never sit there and take abuse. I believe in equal rights and equal fights, right? But once the situation's over, never speak to that person again, because you will lose. You will lose. All right, you guys. I appreciate all the support. I really hope you guys be careful out there. This is AJ. I'm out of here. Have a good one, guys. Oh, and by the way, I did a live on increased violence also, so I'll drop that link in the description. You guys have a good one.